Hello, everyone. I want to talk about a cool workflow that I'm working on right now. This is a somewhat intermediate video. What does my bot do? It is an image generator that has a message history. First, you can discuss with it how to do it better. Then you can do it. You can edit images and all this in a convenient Telegram chat format. Let me show you how it works. Let's start the workflow. Give him a flag, a red flag in his hand. So the generation has completed. We receive information about the image we are talking about. That is, we are referring to another image. We receive information. Well, then it is added to the database, to the message history, what we wrote. Our agent started image generation. Now the image will be generated, and here it replied to us. All this is saved in the database. It sends several options that are very similar, but these are different options. And all of this is also served in the data engine here as a common red flag to his hand. Everything is fully saved. All information is decrypted. The image is saved as well as all generated photos. All of this is very conveniently in one table. How does this workflow work? That is, you can communicate in different ways. You can talk to it with voice and text. You can discuss something with it, but I use free Google tokens. I'll talk about that sometime. And actually, it will be easy to tweak video generation later using Google Video 3, and then it will be conditionally free. That is 3 months of free Google usage. After 3 months, we just change the account and we have another 3 months of free Google usage. Very convenient. So we can use all the Gemini models for free, image generation, video generation, and even my servers also on Google also for free. But what's even cooler is that I tried this when I was doing it, meaning the neural network communicated with itself in the form of 4 agents, because to be honest, I was racking my brain on how to do it simply because the solution when it's ready looks very simple. I really racked my brain on how to do it. So I'm trying to create a bot that would engage in a very natural dialogue with the user, helping them generate photos without needing any technical skills in generation like proper prompt engineering, so that the user doesn't have to adapt to the bot, but the bot communicates with the user in a way that's natural for them. To make it very convenient, I'm doing this little ballet, and today I added to the data boss. I added something that saves the message history, and then the message history is passed to the user, to the bot. The agent, based on the message history and the user's request, makes a decision. It improves the prompt, meaning it has a prompt that helps it enhance the user's request, and then all this is passed to the next workflow. First, there is this kind of workflow, but it's separate. I just put it here so that everything is on one screen, but there's also a cool feature used here, parallel photo generation, because if you do all this in one workflow, the photos will be generated one after another. If you noticed here, they were all generated simultaneously. It's very convenient. You can make 10 or even 100 photos, and they will be generated simultaneously. This speeds up the agent's work. Also, if you noticed, it first responded, completed the work, and then accumulated, aided the photos in general. It's cool that they are all done simultaneously. So first, this workflow, as called it, cyclical initiates generation. Here, the small workflow is launched, the photo is generated, and then written back to the database. That is the photo ID, and the messages they relate to are entered into the database here. Thus, if a person replies to a message, for example, they choose to reply, write something, and then the agent receives which message they replied to. For example, here you see they replied to such and such message, and the agent can already understand that if this, from this me, that is the user, replied here in this text, he replied to this message. Thus, the agent understands what is being discussed, that something happened here. Well, it turns out that we are using a very simple scheme, meaning we just, keep everything in the database, and the agent has complete information about both the message history and the generation history. That is the prompt he used is saved if suddenly the user discusses a specific photograph. This photograph is scanned again and sent to the agent. That is, the agent has all the necessary information for comfortable communication with the user. How my workflow looks now, I will still be finishing here. So it turned out that there is a division of this kind, that it is either a photo or voice or text, which is not quite successful, as everyone does it this way, but it's not the most convenient, because it turned out that the user can send both a photo and speak with voice, and with such a division, it goes either here or there, and we need to process both voice and photo simultaneously. Therefore, it needs to be done linearly so that, well, all options are processed. And then here I have a special node that completely integrates everything. It aggregates all the data, and then the agent works with unified data. That is, it doesn't matter where they came from. They are aggregated here into a single format and passed to the agent. So the next improvement will be, I'm reworking this thing. It's the processing of the user's message so that it looks well different to handle all possible combinations. That is, the user can send various options so that all possible options are processed. Also, it turned out that if a user sends many photos at once, for example, attaches several photos like this, they sort of combine into a media group, and each photo restarts the workflow. So it turns out that if a photo is sent in one message, I will have two parallel launches and executions of the workflow. Like, in principle, I have already figured out how to solve it. The neural network suggested a very cool solution, which is to create a separate table in the database, like an intermediate table for working with media groups. I'll tell you how to work with it. So you can also process many photos at once very conveniently. That's it. And also, currently, my bot works with only one photo at a time. So I can't give it a bunch of photos right now. And I will also redo the prompt. Well, in general, I will rather redo the prompt and give it the ability to do it itself. So now it works like this. If the user kind of used this message or replied to the message, then it's like the photo is technically transferred to the tool for further generation, and it's too strict. And it turns out that we always work with one photo. The user has to strictly specify what they are working with, and there are often tests where you need to combine photos together, and I will generally redo it so that the agent can choose which photos to send for generation. That is, he has all the IDs in the table, he has the IDs, he has the dialogue history, and he can choose, in theory, which photos will be sent for generation. Basically, I have already figured out how to do this. I will just do it next time and show the updated workflow here. I think that in the end, it will turn out to be a full-fledged generator that is photo generation assistant, with which you can discuss photos and discuss how to make them better. What do you think? And ask it to generate different options, because right now, all generators, you kind of have to discuss the photo with one neural network, and another generates it, and you have to jump between, like, for example, Mid-Journey, where I just input a prompt, and with ChatGPT, I kind of think about how to do it. But the neural network can do it all, both photos and videos, and potentially you can connect different neural networks with you. That is, you can connect both Google's video generator and the video generator with you. It's like an aggregator of such tasks. And assistant, theoretically, you can even include a database here. But just completing the task is irrelevant, because I need to remember the message history, and for other tasks where a similar bot is needed. It will be possible to even include a vector database so that the neural network has an unlimited history and can remember the conversation non-linearly, sharing intermediate results. I really like it. Probably not the best solution in terms of optimizing the agent's work, but it's very convenient, especially during the development stage when everything is in one table and the neural network has access to the entire history. But it is really very convenient and very easy to set up. Once you've set it up, you understand how it works. A very convenient solution, because in other projects, I created a bunch of tables right away, and then working with that, of course, is a nightmare. When you have 10 tables in one project, they are somehow connected. It's much more convenient when everything is in one table, and separation of only happens in specific cases like processing, message processing, where there are 10 photos. It will happen differently there, but it's convenient. I'm pleased with myself. I shared the intermediate results. Thank you all. Ask questions. Maybe you have some other ideas to suggest we can somehow communicate on this topic. I would be glad to hear from everyone. Keach there.